Good morning, everyone. It is the voice that makes them moist, your favorite color commentator, here to give you the news and rumors for the WWE and wrestling in general. I normally just report on WWE, but I do some stories that involve wrestling, or a wrestler or a different company. I give you that buffer just for the first segment of the show, what we're going to go over as far as news and rumors. We got Sexy Star breaking Rosemary's arm. Okay, Batista going into the Hall of Fame. And the reported rumors of a possible return of The Undertaker at Survivor Series. These are the stories we're going over today. But before we start anything at all, I have to give a special shout out to my son. It is his birthday today, and I just want him to know that his father appreciates him. And more or less, I'm just going to go ahead and clap it up for him. So, yeah, that was for Chris. And you guys already know, if you know me, if you're listening to the show, if you're a part of the Outlaw Corps, that's my little man. So, I gotta celebrate his life. 9 years ago today, he was in my ball sack. Can you believe that? Huh? Anyway, moving on. So, Sexy Star is a Lucha Underground wrestler. In case of people that don't watch the indies or anything like that, I'm a huge indie fan, but I decided to report on the WWE because they need the most help. And I think that I can help them. Anyway, Sexy Star. She's been notorious for having comments and feuds with other women in the locker room. Hell, her and Johnny Mundo from back in the day, John Morrison on the WWE, just in case if you're trying to put a face to the names that I'm throwing out here. Back in the day, when they were still on Lucha Underground payroll, I think season 2, them two had beef. And she also had beef with Johnny Mundo's new girlfriend, which I can't remember her name right now. But neither here nor there. Sexy Star is a problem inside the locker room. This is a big issue between her and Rosemary. She was in a 4-way match at AAA Mania. What happened at this match is that, fucking Sexy Star puts Rosemary in an arm breaker and literally dislocates her arm. Now, by the end of this match, of course, Sexy Star picks up the win. But by the end of this match, you're furious. The thing with AAA, they're like a joint promotion. They borrow talent from other promotions. And Rosemary is a GFW talent, which means Jeff Jarrett got his hands all on that. So what happens here is, and now you have pretty much a brand war because Sexy Star is not beloved anywhere. Nobody wants her. As far as talent, in-ring talent, she's good. She'll probably do good in Mexico still. But as far as the States, everybody has spoken out against this. Fucking Road Dogg, fucking Cody Rhodes, the list goes on. A lot of cats have chimed in, Edge and Christian chimed in on their podcast, and this is a serious issue. I feel as though, as a wrestler, as a performer, you go out there and you throw your body on the line and, you're taking bumps and you're expecting this other person that's giving you the bumps to take it easy on your body, especially women. So when you hear stuff like this, when you hear they went a little overboard, Brian Pillman, this reminds me of Brian Pillman. Brian Pillman, back in the day when WCW had a shoot with Eric Bischoff. That shoot got him fired, but it was supposed to be a bullshit around, ha ha ha. He actually went and punched fucking Eric Bischoff in the face multiple times. For real. So everybody's like, oh man, WCW, this, that, and the third. No, that shit was real. My whole thing now, what do you do with a Sexy Star? And then you still have Rosemary. What does Rosemary do? Because Sexy Star plays it as a shoot. Rosemary goes on Twitter and, voices her grievances. I don't have it right in front of me right now. But one of her main grievances was the lack of compassion from Sexy Star. The fucking apology that was given, forced by Vampiro, if you guys remember who Vampiro is. Forced from Vampiro, from Sexy Star, because at this point, the whole locker room is in chaos. Everybody's mad about what just the fuck happened. Sexy Star, again, attempts to apologize to Rosemary, then goes on fucking Facebook and says it was a shoot. Why is everybody tripping? Fucking Rosemary comes back at her on Twitter to let her know that, no, you're bullshitting. Your apology was fake. And I think you're one of the most unsafest wrestlers in the world. If anybody allows this woman to work in their company or work for them in their promotions, they should literally go shoot themselves. That's not a God honest quote, but it is what it is. It's along the lines of that. You know, nobody likes this situation like this. Everybody is affected by it, you know, especially the wrestling world. Nobody really wants to deal with Sexy Star. I personally think you give it a couple of years, everybody can make a comeback. Of course, this would be some redeeming on Sexy Star's part, but you can get back out there. Your name can be worth something again. So that's how I feel about it. Shit was wrong. She shouldn't have did it. She shouldn't have did it at all. If you're shooting with one person in a 4-way match, you shouldn't be shooting with everybody in a 4-way match. You know, and it's kind of odd that you hear something like this, especially with women wrestlers. I expect shit like this with a male wrestler because of the heated feud and just being a man. It's just a little extra testosterone, blah, 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 blah. Testosterone floating around. So you would expect this kind of animosity. But Sexy Star, on the other hand, is just a cunt. It's just a cunt. Rosemary, and I don't watch GFW. You lost me after you went to GFW from TNA, so I don't watch that. I watch a little bit of Lucha Underground. I like her performance in the ring as far as Sexy Star goes. But, you know, from what I hear, from what I see on the dirt sheets, she's a cunt. And that's all I got to say about that. Okay, next segment, freaking Batista going into the Hall of Fame. I personally feel, you know, Batista's been with the company, maybe a total of 15 years altogether. Maybe. I think he started it with Devon back in 03. I think that was 03. And since then has become a movie star. He's doing Guardians of the Galaxy. You know, he's getting that Marvel money. It ain't nothing like getting Marvel money. Once you get Marvel money, you're pretty much all right. Look at fucking Robert Downey Jr. He's only done like 4 movies outside of Marvel. So, with that being said, I think it's too soon to put fucking Batista inside of the Hall of Fame. I think it's a many notable names that you could throw in the Hall of Fame. The Rock, who everybody thinks is in the Hall of Fame, and he is not. Freaking Mark Henry, who just retired this year, who could be in the Hall of Fame for 2018. You know, Batista himself still wants to wrestle Triple H. You know, he still wants to have his retirement match at WrestleMania with Triple H. So I can dig it. If anybody is going to put away Batista, it should be the guy that passed him the torch, which makes fucking sense. Now, if you're not going to put him away properly, if you're just retiring Batista and putting him in the Hall of Fame, don't let him come back to television. Treat him like you treated DDP. DDP was supposed to get another run in the WWE before retiring last year. I'm glad they didn't do that. DDP was old when he started wrestling. He's even older now. Thank God for yoga. So, with that being said, but fucking Batista, you know, his fucking rigorous schedule, I don't see them putting him back on because you know the WWE likes to bring back part-timers for WrestleMania season. I can completely see them bringing him back. I don't see them putting him over. And that's the problem. If you're not going to put Batista over and make him look as dominant as he did in his WWE career, then what's the point? What's the point? If you're just having this match with Triple H just for him to lose and retire, what's the point? How I would do it, how I would book Batista's return. There's either two people I would rather see him fight. I would rather see him fight John Cena, because I think John Cena, them two being at the same height of their careers at the same time, it would hold a little weight. Like, their fucking careers mirror each other that first 2 to 3 years. So why wouldn't you want a cat like Batista to fight a cat like John Cena, who's already has enough accolades? You dig what I'm saying? Same with Triple H. Even if it was Triple H retiring, you come back, you cut a fucking promo, and you put him on his ass. That should be it. But me personally, I don't think it's time. I would let Batista go over, which would force at least 2 to 3 more matches out of his retirement. That's why I say it's too soon for him to retire. I think Batista got at least another 3 years if he comes back full time, because he's not going to come back on some part-time shit. Last time he came back, they had the Guardians of the Galaxy. He was not received well. Blue Tista. Because, in-ring gear, he had missed a little bit of wrestling time. And the crowd has desensitized themselves off of fucking Batista. Nobody wants to deal with Batista now. Now when you got a Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and a Neville moving up on the main roster at that time. So, yeah. I think it's a great idea. I think there's a lot of names ahead of Batista before you go into talking about he's going to retire. You still got The Rock floating out there, who, if asked or if wanted to, could retire at any fucking point in time, and the WWE would make a big deal out of it. I doubt if that's the route they're going to go, but it could happen. Last segment. A possible in-ring return for The Undertaker. Now, there's been reports that The Undertaker was spotted in New York City for SummerSlam weekend. And Jerry the King Lawler put it out there. He was trying out for another game outside of 2K. He was being scanned and all that other good stuff. That rumor has been proven wrong. He was actually in there training at a facility in New York for a quote-unquote something or another. I'm not sure. A lot of people are saying that it's for his in-ring return, but if he just had hip surgery, I don't see him jumping right back in the ring. It just doesn't make any fucking sense. You're putting a lot of wear and tear on your body. Now, The Undertaker, just based off of promos, the last time The Undertaker had a fucked up match, he went against fucking Triple H. And Triple H beat the shit out of him with a steel chair, which I think was one of their better WrestleMania moments. But that forced Triple H to go into another match the following year, because The Undertaker looked like a piece of shit, and he didn't want to be remembered as a piece of shit. Fine. Roman Reigns literally did nothing between them two their whole match. Undertaker, it was one of those, I beat myself. I'm old, I'm tired, I'm on my last wheels, and I'm trying to make this match work. Put this guy over so I can put these gloves down and walk away. What seemed to happen, is that everything went as planned. Everything, except for fucking Roman going over. And they're even still now steadily dropping, I beat The Undertaker. So this is all building towards a match, which I get. Okay, slow booking. You just, every fucking time Roman opens his mouth, I beat The Undertaker. Don't forget I beat The Undertaker. I took him out Tuesday, we went and got breakfast, then I beat him. Stupid. I doubt if The Undertaker is 100% ready to come back. You can't go get fucking hip surgery. Look at Hogan. Look at Hogan. Hogan went and got hip surgery on his return. Came back and fucked up both his hips. So it's way too soon to really gauge if The Undertaker is coming back or not. I would rather him come back at Survivor Series and do something there versus come back at WrestleMania. He came back at fucking, the last time he came back, it was at WrestleMania. And then 2, I wouldn't even fucking let The Undertaker rest. Let him rest in peace. Because the way